I know you went to community college.
Hmm.
I feel this too, right? So do you feel that sort of comparison thinking where you see all your other friends in universities, you slide up, you see the stories on social media, people going to parties, doing crazy things, and like you're in community college.
Hmm.
And I'm not, I feel the same way too. So I was wondering, like, have you felt that? And if so, like, what have you done with that?
No, it's the same that comparison is the thief of all joy.
Mm.
And let me tell you, back when I was in community college, I think it was around 2017 to 2019 area, used to be a big user of Snapchat. So I had all my friends from high school on Snapchat, and a lot of them, they went to four-year universities. And I used to just watch people's stories and see them at functions and see them in different places, and they would be traveling. Some people would be traveling the world. Some people would just be having fun at their school. And I used to think, like, what about me? I used to feel stuck. I used to feel like, wow, I'm really just here, still at home, still at my own house, still in the area with the same people from the block. And I felt left out. I felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I really did feel like I was in some type of purgatory sometimes.
Can you explain that word for those who don't understand, including me?
Purgatory is a phrase that's used to describe almost the in-between. Usually it's used to describe the in-between between heaven and hell. But in this case, we're talking about like almost like a waiting room where nothing is really going on. You don't know where you're going next. And it's like it feels like you're wasting time, to be honest. And I felt trapped in this purgatory type state where even though I was doing this because at the time I didn't have prospects, but also in the name of saving money, I felt like there was so much life I was missing out of, which was a fallacy looking back at it. But at the time, that's how I felt. It wasn't until afterwards I seen how impactful and how beneficial this period of my life was and how I needed to go through it in order to step into the person that God called me to be later in life. So for anybody that's going through that period, and you may be in community college, you may be taking a gap year, you may not be going to school at all.
Trade school too.
Trade school. Understand that there's a season for everything and that everybody's walk is not the same. What I do with my life is not going to be the same as Philemon. And that's okay. But we have to trust the process and have faith. A lot of times we want to jump the gun because we see other people doing other things and we want to go off the path that we're going in order to try to live like them. But we're not dumb. We all have our specific walk in life. So we need to make sure that if we committed to this, we're committed to it. And you'll see the dividends pay off in the long run. But when you're going through it, it can feel painful. But doesn't it need to be painful in order to grow? You don't just go to the gym and just sit there. You go through pain. You lift weight. You rip the muscle in order to grow stronger.
Muscle tears, yeah.
Muscle tear, micro tears in your muscle in order to grow stronger and get bigger. It's the same thing with this life. If you're avoiding pain or if you're feeling like, oh, I want to leave this path to go to another path because it seems easier, you're missing the point. It's about the growth in your character and your humility, who you are, so that not only can you grow, but you can help other people grow.
It's like it helps you appreciate where you are. It's that long-term thinking too, because when you're in a situation that you don't like and you're just like, why me? Why this? Why is this happening right now? I see this happen in this dude's life. I see this happen in her life. Why me? Why is this not happening? We don't think even months ahead. We just think about right now.
Exactly.
I feel lonely right now. I want to go party right now, but I'm here. A lot of people struggling with that comparison thing. Do you recommend them to, because for what helps me, I don't check stories. I try not to get involved with, scrolling so much because I know you're off social media.
Yeah, I'm off it.
So, which is great. So what do you recommend for people who is not checking stuff? Is that a good idea?
If you have a problem with obsessively scrolling, checking other people's statuses,
It's on my phone while you said that. Sorry.
No, you're good. If you genuinely have a problem in terms of seeing people's stories and feeling like you're missing out, what I personally did, I got to a point where I realized it just was not healthy. And I just deleted my Snapchat. I deleted Instagram. And I would tell myself, this thing that is bringing me instant gratification is not giving me joy. And I realized by me over consuming not only content, but other people's stories, I just kept falling deeper and deeper into this sense of self-pity. Like, oh, look at them. They're doing all this. And what are you doing? And I realized how detrimental that was to everything I was trying to do at that time. Because now I can't even show up to class with a sense of confidence because my confidence is diminished because I'm looking at everybody and I'm comparing myself to them.
Yeah.
I just straight up deleted Snapchat. As soon as I did that, I felt freed Because now I'm not living life trying to be like this person or this like this person. I'm trying to be the best senior I can be. But obviously that's not going to be everybody's path. Some of us need to take a break from social media. Just take a week. Just off of social media. Just focus on being in the moment with the people around you. Focus on what you should be doing as your person and not comparing yourself to another person to help you get back on track. Pray. A lot of times we have this short-term thinking because we don't see the bigger picture. Prayer helps you see the bigger picture. And understand that even though you're going through this pain in a moment, it's not going to be forever.
I feel that. Back to the community college part. So transferring to Virginia Tech, did that change you mentally? I remember we were at the Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
You had Virginia Vtech friends
VT.
over. Yep. So transferring over to Vtech, did that change you mentally, physically, like spiritually? How was that transfer?
Man, there's a lot. That's a deep question. Because honestly, when I transferred into Virginia Tech, my whole everything changed.
Really?
Everything changed.
Wow.
You know, actually, the story of how I even became a Christian originates when I transferred to Virginia Tech. The story of how I started to realize I wasn't an introvert originated when I got to Virginia Tech. After I finished Nova, I had around a 3.6, and the Black Caucus at Virginia Tech reached out to me via mail, and they said, we'll be pleased to have you here. And that was my first choice university coming out of community college. So I was psyched. I'm like, this is perfect.
Nice.
I'm going to go to VT. I'm going to be a Hokie. I'm going to have turkey and all that stuff. And it's going to be cool. But I didn't realize how, as a transfer student, I didn't realize the certain pitfalls and the disadvantages I had. So I went, I applied, I got in. Before I moved into campus, I realized I don't have an apartment yet because I'm a transfer.
Oh, yeah.
So when I'm done with community college, now I'm thinking, okay, I got to get an apartment. So around August, I'm getting apartments. I locked down this one apartment, but the person who lives there ends up telling me I can't live there because he gave that room to another person at the last minute. So in August, when school's about to start, I'm without an apartment and I don't know where I'm gonna stay. Then I remember somebody on the VT off-campus housing website reaches out to me literally the last week before school's about to start. He says,
wow,
we have a room for you here. His name was Chinadu. Shout out to Chinadu if you're watching this. Love you, bro. He reaches out to me. He says, we have a room for you here in our house. It's in the middle of nowhere, but we have a room. It was literally in the middle of nowhere. Like there was deers in our backyard, cornfields right across. Real talk. I felt
like scary movie type.
Tight. Felt like, dang, as a black person out here, I'm gonna need that protect. Anyways, so I go, I get a room, I meet all the bros in the house, great people. And I remember the first week, which is our welcome week. Most colleges have welcome week.
Yeah.
There was an event that they brought me to. It was a Chi Alpha cookout. If you guys know about Chi Alpha, it's a Christian ministry on campus. And that was the first time I went and I saw young people going and pursuing after Jesus. And at that time, I was like, this is very weird. I've never seen young people get serious about God. I thought that was only something 40 and up people do. And that kind of, it planted a seed. At the same time, I realized that because I was in a different environment, I could reinvent myself. This is very important. All my life, I have been living in one area my whole life. I moved for college now. Now I'm in a new city, and amongst new people. I can be who I want to be. So I remember I said, I'm going to introduce myself as Senior Rhymes with Kenya, and I'm going to just force myself to be more social. And wow, that took me such a long way. I would go there, and because I didn't have the restrictions of my past identity holding me down, I was able to reinvent myself and really show the best of me to people and go out and just be a ball of energy, a ball of positive vibes. I realized in doing that, all these self-limiting thoughts that I used to tell myself back when I was in high school and community college, they weren't true. They weren't true. So that new environment really enabled me to be somebody who I was proud of, somebody that could pour into other people and not be scared of rejection. But going forward, when I got into Virginia Tech, there was a lot of activities. That's the thing I loved about it. There was welcome week. There was concerts on the drill field. If you guys know about the drill field, it's a big field in the middle of campus. There was club events, Gobble Fest, where all the clubs set up. It was liberating because there was all these different options, and it wasn't like high school when you have your cliques or your cool kids or this group, that group, and you guys see each other for the 4 years. It's literally like you can join this group. Again, I joined Filipino American Student Association. Honestly, I felt empowered in doing that because it's like I can join that group, but I could also join the Black Student Alliance. I could also join the cooking class group. I could also join the language learning group. It's so liberating. So in coming to college, I realized how much freedom I had, and especially away from my parents, how things like responsibilities started to come up. Keeping my house, laundry, cooking for myself, cooking African food for myself, which is a whole ordeal in itself.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it takes 3 years to cook one dish, but we're not talking about that. You know, transportation, truly socializing, you know, making friends intentionally. It was very much needed for me, and I really do feel like that was the turning point in my whole adult life. That right there, just being in a new environment, getting to reinvent myself.
I didn't know about that.